Hey, it's me, Silver the Wack, coming at you on a Thursday. It is Thursday. I'm still getting used to the summertime. Uh, the light saving thing. Um, I keep getting up a bit later than usual. Uh, yeah, I haven't really been feeling my best, but that's been a streak, hasn't it? Still, I am here as per my threat, which I hope was clear. Like in the previous video. Let me just pause for a second. Kept going. Sorry, but I was just checking something. Sorry. I'll be right back. Yeah, now I really am back after pausing. I was just checking something and then I was looking at the email and yeah, it's full of nothing. Anyway, I don't have a new mug because I don't really have the money to buy a new one at the moment, but there's a new cozy. It doesn't look as Hulk themed as it does in real life in the viewfinder. At least in mine. I suppose it could look right in a different one. Someone was saying that, but yeah. Why is it Hulk themed? Because I ran out of green yarn. um. Anyway, I hope that your Wednesday was good and that today's goes good as well. That's not correct English, but it doesn't matter. It's understandable. That's what matters. So tomorrow I will be posting nothing, but I'll be back on Saturday. And then on Sunday I am planning on posting a bit of a different video where I'll be reading an original story. And before you think that it's like an original with a huge plot and huge conflict, no, it's one of those, I guess you could call it sleep stories. which is something that I've been doing to myself to fall asleep for a while. Like, I would tell myself these stories in my mind. You know how there's that mean, yes, I mean, I mean, there's that meme that where people say that they have to create a whole film and a whole story inside their heads before they go to sleep. Yeah, to me it's the same. Only that it doesn't have to have it like a huge plot. Just, I don't know, imagining that I'm going through the woods and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But now that I know that this is an actual genre, if you can call it that, if it's that it's an actual thing that people write, and it's meant to be relaxing, I can write some of those, like, with different themes, things that, you know, are a bit cozier, I suppose. And maybe if you like it, again, I really don't want this to become like a huge thing, because I want to keep doing this, like using this as therapy, since I have another channel, but the other channel, yeah, it's not really something I want to keep using, because there's stuff that I private there. Before you think that it's some problematic stuff, no, it's just private stuff that I was sharing with my brother when I was away. So I made those things private. There were some rants and stuff that I also made private. Again, it was nothing problematic. I can assure you of that. If there's a way to check private videos, I think it would just be a misery fest, self-pity party, I don't fucking know. But it wouldn't be problematic, it wouldn't be a spectacle, it wouldn't be lol cow material. I still hate that, by the way. And also I got this, oh my god, I have to turn it off, don't I? Because it won't, yeah. I got this. It was extremely cheap. It's a light. Please work. Oh gosh, darkness has come. It's not very powerful, but there's a problem with it. When I look at it, it kind of blinds me. Which is hilarious since it's not that powerful. Like, it's enough when I point it towards like what I'm doing. Oh god. Oh gosh. Oh no. This is gonna stain, isn't it? Shoot. Shoot, it's gonna stain, it's gonna stain, it's gonna stain, it's gonna stain, it's gonna stain. It's gonna stain. Give me a second. Right, I cleaned it as best as I could. I will change this later, not now. There's too much stuff on the bed. Before I leave, I'll take this out and put it in the wash. It's because I spilled some coffee on myself. as one does. But what was I saying? I was saying that I really don't want this to become to breach containment, so to speak. Right. I want to be able to keep doing these vlogs casually. And I want to try posting one of the original stories this Sunday. I may try to edit again. See if that works out. Maybe do like a drawing or something to put on the screen, since for that one I really just want it to be a story. Maybe 20 minutes long. Something like that. So not a long story. Just enough to relax to, maybe. To sleep eventually, if my voice doesn't annoy you. But yeah, that's the plan. That's the game plan. Did not translate anything this morning, so I might not have a story today, but let me check if there's something that I can translate as I go. Oh shoot, that's not the one. Open the wrong file. Okay. Will you open? Will you not open? Probably not. Okay. Let's see. It's not opening. Oh my gosh. Anyway. At this point, am I even surprised? No. And I don't really remember anything. I'm sorry. It's been kind of upsetting lately. Okay. No, there's just it's the ones that I wrote. Are kind of too long, so I'm sorry, but there's no like full tale today. In case you were counting on that one. Let me just finish my coffee. That has already stained this thing, and it's I will remove it as soon as possible. And when I return, you'll see that I have a fresh cover. Yeah, because I was at the desk the other day, like, since it was the 1st of April. I mean, it wasn't exactly a good day because I normally don't like the 1st of April, and this year was particularly bad because, yeah, an actor that I like passed away, and I wasn't feeling well, but for his sake I tried to keep it together, like, to keep it cool, to keep it like, you know, I didn't even know this person, so that kind of feeling, if I'm making any sense, but still, yeah. And it was particularly bad because he passed in a similar way as one of my favorite professors. My grandma contracted that before going into sepsis, and yeah, I don't know if that's what led to his death as well, but yeah, it was on brand for him to die on April's Fools. So that when people said, yay, you know, it was Val Kilmer. I really liked Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer died. Yeah, April's Fools. No, he really did fucking die, you dumbass. Then pull out the phone and show, it's dead. Look, it's dead. Yeah. But he's alive, you know? It's one of those things. As long as you remember the person, they will be alive. And he left a good legacy. Not just with the Top Gun films. Which, by the way, the first one turned into such a cult classic, and it was so fun to watch. Because Val decided to improvise since he started with improv, and he was very good at it. He was a funny man. Like, most people hate his Batman, but it's one of my favorite Batmans, along with Rob Pattinson's, because they, like, I think they complement each other. If I had to think of how Rob Pattinson's Batman would turn in the future after, you know, solving his young guy emo problems, I think he would turn into Val Kilmer's Batman. Because Rob Pattinson is also a kind of a chaotic, funny guy. Yeah. And one thing that a lot of people don't know about Val Kilmer is that he still is, let's say that, part Native American, and that's quite visible, in my opinion, especially as he aged. you could really see the Native American. I don't know what happened. It just evolved and it reached this final form, and yeah, it was incredible. And he was an incredible actor and an incredible person. And the first Top Gun film, which is, I suppose, the stuff that people know the most about Val Kilmer. I mean, at least at this point in time, his character was kind of bland. um, and he looked at the script and was like, ugh, I don't want to play this boring character. And the director was like, no, you're perfect for it. You fit the role perfectly. You look just like my vision. It was based on a photograph that he saw, which was extremely homoerotic. And Val played into it like a champion. He was a true ally. And then he asked, well, can I improvise some of these things? And the director said, sure. And he was like, alright then. And there you have it. The original Top Gun is fun because of him. Like the scene where he goes like, bullshit. That was improvised. The scene where it goes like, at Tom Cruise, that's also improvised. There's a lot of stuff that's improvised. Because he was a funny man. He just did what he felt fit a scene when it felt like it was lacking something, I suppose. For example, the bullshit scene is iconic because of that. Otherwise it would just be, wow, look at these guys. He was flying with the jet upside down, blah blah blah. Like, it wouldn't have stuck as much as it did if it wasn't for Val in the back going like bullshit, and Tom Cruise and the other actor whose name I forget. I'm so sorry. I am not very good with names, and I haven't seen him in many films, so sorry. Even the new actors, I don't remember their names. There's Glenn Powell, because he was in another film. And the other guy, I have watched some of his work, and I like him as an actor. And as a person, I suppose I don't have anything against him, but he was in Whiplash, and I really like that film. And we're just chatting and rambling, but if you watched, I think it was in La La Land. Was it not in La La Land that he played a character at a bar? And that film came soon after Whiplash, and you see that character also related to music, and you see him like with this evil expression, and you're like, oh no, it's this guy. But then he smiles and it's like, oh, it's a different person, it's a different character. I think it was on purpose. Like, I'm not a huge fan of La La Land. I don't hate it either. Just making that very clear. I don't hate it. I have nothing against it. I just think that the winner of the Oscar that year was deserved. Probably that fiasco could have been avoided if they'd done things properly, which would have been a lot better, but like, I think Moonlight deserved it. It was really good, and it was it was telling a story, while the other one was just the old white people trying to make it in black fields. That's what it felt to me like. I'm being overly critical of it, but yeah, there was even this skit with I think Zach Galifianakis. I think that's how you pronounce his name. If it's not, I'm really sorry. But there was this skit where he was asking John Legend with felt to teach white people about jazz. And I thought that was really funny. Yeah, we're just chatting. Since, now the videos are less frequent, and I still need my therapy. Though I was... Look, it's Frankie. Can you hear him? Yay! I think it really was the talents. Oh. Just keeping these in because they give me a sense of safety. Though I shouldn't be shoving stuff in my ears, but I really don't have a choice. And this really does make me feel a bit safer. Like, acceptable. It's the acceptable mark. But when I have some change and happen to come across some cool mug, some cool cheap mug, I'll bring it over so that we can share a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a cup of something together. Maybe. But you like juice or milkshakes. When I was a kid, I enjoyed milkshakes a lot. Now we're just rambling, as usual. Nothing new. Let me just finish drinking this. We'll do the breathing exercise and keep chatting, I think. I don't have a story like one of those that my grandma told me. They're folk tales, but I have some stories about my grandma which I want to share because that's how you keep people alive. Just like I did with Val Kilmer, telling you some lore that you may have not been aware. Right, so let's do a bit of breathing and then I'll show you what I was making yesterday. I posted in the community tab. I was very proud of myself for finding it. So I'm sorry I keep posting stuff there. I guess that's the purpose of it. And since this is a vlog kind of channel, it's fine. And I suppose they put that there so that they could hook people on this social media that is YouTube. Because whether you like it or not, YouTube is a social media. It's not as intense as other social medias, but it's still social media. Okay, so today we'll do the 4-7-8 breathing exercise.
Relax and get comfortable. Focus on your breathing. Breathe in. Hold. out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Well done.
Well done. Whew, this is great actually. And if or when I start posting my original stories, I will likely start with a short breathing exercise. Because if the purpose is relaxing, then it makes sense to me. Yeah. But the thing that I was making is like, oh my gosh. But I'm sure you've seen this if you have looked at crochet at all. It's succulent, but wait. Ta-da! Of course you already knew this, because I showed one of them. It's a set of coasters that go inside a pot to make like a decorative piece when you're not using them. And I wanted to make one. I will be trying to sell it. Maybe this one will be picked up by someone. I really was not joking when I said that at this point I'm just so willing to put things up for sale on Facebook Marketplace or something, because like being a nobody and not being like extremely charismatic or whatever the hell, or like really talented on something, makes it basically impossible to sell anything. Even when you're someone, I mean everyone is someone, but you know what I mean. When you're famous, it's easier for you to sell your stuff, right? When you have like a platform already and people already trust you and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating. And I will admit that when I was finishing up the coasters, like the tutorial was only for 2 of them. Why did I do it like this? I could have done it just like this, but I usually do this as a peace sign, so like an idiot. When I was finishing up the coasters, I was, you know, the feeling, the theory, the curse of the sweater curse, or the jumper curse, or whatever the hell it's called, when you're making a jumper for someone. like knitting. I think it's just for knitting. I'm not sure if it applies to crochet as well. Maybe it does, but I've only heard it relating to knitting, so I'll roll with that. Though I could check, and I will do that. Let me pause. Yeah, I was incorrect. It's also used by people, by crocheters. Crocheters. I don't know how to pronounce that. People who crochet. And yeah, I was feeling that because I was doing that with the intention of putting it up for sale, but I haven't sold anything as of right now. So I started feeling like, what's the point? You know? What's the point? And I was just looking at the page for it, and it said that that was one of the reasons for the quote-unquote curse of the sweater, because knitting or crocheting gives the person who's doing it time to think about the relationship and stuff. So it's not really a curse, it's just something that happens due to like psychological factors, you know. But yeah, well, I don't really have a story, but I have a new scent. Oh gosh, I actually took the time to make this a bit more voluminous today so that it wouldn't look as awful as the previous video, but yeah, it is what it is. I also need to go to the pharmacy. I should write that down. I should write that down. I will do it right now without pausing, because pausing can lead to bad things. And try to write that story and pharmacy. There you go. Yeah, I need my ADHD meds, because I just realized that I have just enough for 2 days, which is not good. Dark face. But I didn't and I don't have a story, but I have a story regardless. Let's go for one of the funnies. It's half funny, okay? It's half funny because there was an accident, but nobody got seriously injured, so it was fine. It was funny. So this happened before I was born. My mom was a kid, and like I said, my family, my maternal side of the family is very rural. So my grandma was illiterate, though she was a poet and a lyricist and a singer. And she worked in the fields, like planting, like farming, that kind of thing. And she raised cattle too. Now we just have some chickens and ducks and rabbits. I don't eat rabbit. Yeah, it's a bit of hypocritical because I eat other animals, but I just can't eat rabbit. A tangent, but yeah, they raised cattle as well, like pigs, and there was a point when they had sheep as well and goats, but my grandma was upset about that because they ate everything. They were left in the back, um, in the backyard of the backyard. Like, how do I explain this? I would have to draw it. Let me pause. Here I am. So, is it visible? I hope so. Okay, so this is the entrance of the yard. Okay, there's a side entrance. This is a well, a water well. This is another water well, but this one doesn't have any water. These are some of the trees. I think I didn't miss anyone, any tree. This is a pathway. These are flowers. These are rose bushes. And this here was a kitchen. This is a lean-to where they keep like wood and stuff. These were pig pens. These two. This was the place where the donkey lived. And there are some stairs, and there's a second floor to this. Over this kitchen, there's a room, which used to be a bedroom, believe it or not. Well, maybe one day I'll show it. It's very strange, it's very eerie. The donkey lived here. The donkey was like a pet. The donkey also pulled a cart, which used to be right there. It used to be right there. The cart used to stay right here, right in front of this. This was a gate. This is an extra door. This was a Shrek loo. This is the coop. The coop for like when the chickens and the ducks hatch, they go into the coop so that the animal, the babies are safe from the adult males and stuff like that. But normally they roam around in this area. It looks smaller than it actually is, because I was just sketching it quickly. This was what should I even call it? It was the place where my grandma used to put the corn to dry, and also yeah, it was mostly corn, but also straw. But then the straw would go up here, because this was a hayloft. It still is a hayloft, but now it just has very old hay. There are some orange trees in here. There's a fig tree in the back, and yeah, where was I even going with this? Oh, the sheep. My grandma kept the sheep in here, and she used to plant some stuff in here, like cabbages and stuff. There's also a lemon tree that I missed. It's right next to the door, like right on this side. This side? Yeah, this side, right here. There's a lemon tree. These are all orange trees. That one is a fig tree. And the sheep and the goats would eat everything. So she got rid of them, and then the pigs would stay in these two. This was the donkey's the donkey's room. But then the donkey would also be allowed to go in the back, because I mean, donkeys also they eat almost anything, but not in the way that sheep and goats do. Like those beasties, like they will eat anything. It's just random tangent with a drawing and everything. Or because I was talking about how my grandma had a cart that was pulled by this donkey. Because back in the day, donkeys and mules and also ox were used, by farmers and stuff. People who did not have driver's licenses or tractors or anything, because that was expensive. They were used for work, and they were normally used for work, but also they were treated like pets, because donkeys are very smart animals. And this one was very tame. I remember that when I was a kid, I used to love climbing on top of the donkey's back, which was fine because, child. And I wasn't a particularly big child anyway, and the donkey was so tame that it didn't mind at all that I was on its back. Usually it was female donks, yes, a donkey, female donkeys, and my grandma always called them Shika. When I was born, my grandma was already 60. So during my childhood, she had, I think, three donkeys, yes, because one of them, she was strict. Basically, she bought an older donkey, and the donkey was good and tame and everything, but since it was old, it passed. The yard is full of carcasses buried in there, because that's what people did back in the day. There were no ways to have cremations or whatever the hell. I don't even know what people do in those situations. But yeah, she had this cart and a donkey to go to the fields and work, and then return with whatever she harvested, or when she was going to plant, she would load the cart with the things that she needed and go. So this story happened before I was born, and I am a messy storyteller. I'm so sorry. That's why it's better to have a cheat sheet. And she had gone to the fields, and then she gave a ride to a friend who was an older woman, someone who was older than her. She might have been, I don't know, 50, perhaps 50, because my mum was born when she was already 40, so she might have been 50. So she was still young, and clearly sturdy, as you will hear, because donkeys are as smart as they are stubborn. and my grandma was said to a friend, "Oh, I'll take you home. Don't worry." But here's the thing: the donkey was very stubborn, and the donkey had this clear path of where she had to go. So my grandma was trying to pull the donkey in a different direction to go take a friend home, but the donkey kept forcing in the other direction. And what happened was that the ropes burnt out of my grandma's hands, and she lost control of the cart. She fell off the cart into a ditch, and her friend was still on the cart, and she started screaming and saying, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Where is she taking me? Where is she taking me?" Talking about the donkey. "Where is she taking me? Oh no! Oh no!" And then the donkey just stopped right in front of the place where my grandma used to go and toil in the fields. And my grandma was like limping a little, but she didn't break anything, even though she took a fall. She was just very bruised, but she didn't break anything. And she was running after the cart. And in the end, nobody was seriously injured. Like, my grandma was just bruised and I imagine aching, but she was built different. What's that? She was built different. Yeah. These are stories of the countryside. There are more. A lot of them relating to donkeys, because donkeys are kind of, unpredictable. And sometimes stuff happens. So I may tell some of these when I don't really have anything translated, and go on tangents, and even draw little maps of yards and backyards of backyards. Because as you could see, that there was the front yard, there was a separation in the middle where the animals slept, and then there was a backyard in the backyard behind that, and then the hayloft. Which at one point was an actual loft, a very rural kind of loft. But that's, it was because my one of my uncles had gotten married and they didn't have a place to live yet, so my grandpa built them a bedroom in there, and there was that kitchen and the Shrek loo. This was in the 70s, I think. Yeah. And we're talking about very rural areas, so yeah, this sounds like it was a million years ago, but it was not. So we built that, and needless to say that they didn't stay there for long, and also the marriage didn't last very long either, but that was unrelated to the loft situation. And that's not an interesting story anyway, so yeah, this is already getting long. I don't think I have much more to say. I need to remember to take this thing off. And I also need to start on my mum's top thing. I'm kind of worried about that because I wonder if she'll like it to begin with. So yeah, that's the main reason why I haven't started it yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. But anyway, thank you all for being here once again. Like I have said in previous videos, if you don't like me or my voice or my face or whatever, just please click away. I'm not forcing anyone to stay here. I will write this in the description as well. Just, yeah, this is just me chatting into a camera. As a form of therapy. Though I will be going to actual therapy this month. Let's hope that goes well. But yeah, this is just casual chatting. Like vlogs back in the day when people would just turn on the camera, yap for a bit, then turn it off. Only that this is longer because now YouTube allows you to upload long videos. But yeah, that's it. I hope you're well. I hope your day continues to go well. I hope tomorrow is also good. And that this week has been treating you well. This was a long, rambly mess as usual. But at this point, that's the wacky brand. Yeah. That's it. That's all, and that's enough. Thank you for being here. And I will be back. That's a threat. Bye bye.